Good morning again. The other thing that's been heavy on my heart is the trance-like state that everyone seems to be in nowadays. It is disturbing to me. I don't know. I'm sure others see it, feel it too, especially if you're a Christ follower. It's got to hit you in the gut, because when you look around, I'm really concerned about our younger generation, but it's everyone. Okay, I'm guilty at times of doing this, but I try to be very diligent. And when I see that I'm kind of falling into the trap of that trance-like state, and what I mean is technology, phones, games, whatever it is. I don't do social media other than this YouTube. Guys, everyone is constantly staring at a device, and there is very little interaction with one another. And you can't truly be listening to someone if while they're talking, you're staring at your phone, playing a game, or you're watching videos. There's this disconnect, right? It is something that I feel like the devil has sent here on purpose to use as a distraction. Firstly, a distraction to keep people feeling isolated, alone, and entranced from the other people in their lives. Okay, that's the first separation or distraction. But ultimately, the biggest distraction is that if you're constantly looking at whatever you're looking at, and I say that tongue-in-cheek, whether it's games, social media, or something much more nefarious, which, I don't have to say the word for you to understand where I'm going. You are being distracted. You're not focusing on eternal things, okay? So you have the distraction from your family, your friends. People don't know how to just sit and talk anymore and really look at each other and listen. And then we're so caught up in all this stuff that how can you possibly be thinking about how can you possibly be thinking about Jesus and his plan and eternal things and what we're really here for? Because you do know that we're here for a purpose, a divine purpose. We're not here to just live, work, and die. God created each of us on purpose for his purpose. So if you are so entranced with whatever it is, and if it's not electronics, it could be something else. Maybe you're so engrossed in your career, that's all, you're totally consumed, or you're so engrossed with staying busy with your family, that there's this tendency to lose true focus on what truly, eternally matters. So, it's like when I go into a restaurant, I look around and I intentionally try not to look at my phone while I'm out to eat with my husband, family, whomever. I feel like that is just so rude. Can you not lay your phone down for 5 minutes while you're having a meal and trying to have time with someone? It's disturbing to me. Everybody is just entranced. You stop at a red light, you look over, and the person in their car is on their phone. It's like you can't stop for 2 seconds. Anyway, I could talk about this till I'm blue in the face, and it's just become this thing where I look around and it's like, we're zombies. We're just completely entranced. And I think that was Satan's ultimate goal with social media and games and the other, I hate to say the P word, but you know what I mean. People are engrossed in these activities and they have stopped being able to connect person to person. It's sad, guys. It saddens me so much. But what makes me even more sad is that we prioritize these things over spending time with God, getting into His Word, getting to know Him, having that intimate relationship with Him, which is the most important thing you can do in your life, is get to know your Creator, and develop a one-on-one personal relationship with Him. So I want you to know, I'm not saying to have a release and play a game for a little bit on your phone is bad, or to scroll through social media. I'm not saying that's bad, but when people are doing it, they're saying the average teenager is on their phone like 8 hours a day. That is disturbing, and that is concerning. And how are we going to get to this generation? And we're all guilty of it, all ages. But the younger generation, this is how they're growing up. So they're not going to know anything different. That is disturbing to me. I lived a portion of my life, because I'm 52, without electronics. So I know the time before and how it used to be. They don't. This is how they have come into this world. This is what they've been introduced to, and they don't know any other way. So I hope as parents, if there's any parents that watch this, that you will set boundaries. You know, screen time, limit it. And yes, teenagers too. You're still the parent. You still have the say-so. You're paying for the phone, which I know for sure, you know, because I used to pay for my kids' phones. But there were set limits on stuff. I don't think I did a perfect job at it. But guys, even though I feel like all age groups are guilty of spending this time, I feel like the most impactful age group that this is going to alter life's course long term is the younger generation, because when they go out into the workforce, how are they going to make it through the day not being able to be on their phone for 6 hours or whatever? How are they going to know how to interact with their family if they're so used to having their phone in their face 24/7? Like, make time for family dinners where all devices get put up and everybody sits down together. Make time, don't let your kids come home from school and just go in their room and shut the door and you don't see them for the rest of their night. I struggled with my own children a little bit with this, because life gets so busy. You're working, you're doing this, they're getting older, they can kind of, they're not little kids anymore. They can kind of take care of themselves. But when they start closing themselves off, that is a dangerous time. And I saw it happen in my own home. So I'm speaking out of love and out of experience, right? We have to do better, okay? I can't go back and rewrite my family's history, unfortunately, but you with children now can. You can say, look, you're spending too much time on your phone. Or if it's your husband, I'm not just focusing on kids. Babe, can you put your phone down for a little bit? Let's, how was your day? Talk to your kids about their day. Have them sit down and eat dinner as a family unit with you, your husband included, you included. Make time to check on the elders in your family, your grandparents, and I don't mean that for me. I'm talking in general. I'm talking like my children's grandparents. I'm talking like generational family. Just staying connected with people, and not through a text, not through Facebook or whatever you use, which I don't do any of that anymore. But, check on people, like pick up the phone and call them, set up a day, to go and meet with them face to face. That's what we're missing now. Shooting somebody a text is nice, and that's fine for casual interaction, but speaking to someone, sorry, I keep hearing vehicles, speaking to someone one-on-one, face-to-face is just different. There's more of a human connection there. So I know I'm kind of rambling and this is getting kind of long, but this is something that is so heavy on my heart. I'm trying to do better with this. It's hard because I live several hours away from my family, but the phone call over the text, FaceTime if you can, but check on people. You know, spend time with your kids. Make them put their phones up at times. And if you have little kids, do not start them on this screen time thing at this young age where it's become the babysitter. And I get it. And I'm not saying it's not okay once in a while. If you're in the car and the kid's being a little unruly, let them, you know, watch something on your phone till you get to your destination. But this should not be a 5-6 hour thing a day. That is not good, you guys. Let's set boundaries. And when you do spend quality time with your family and friends, what are you talking about? Let's don't sit around and gossip about people. Let's talk about life. Check on people. How are you doing? How's work? How's life? How's the family? Is there anything I can pray for you? Do they know Jesus? Encourage them. I'm not saying every conversation has to be all about your faith, but make sure you're planting seeds when appropriate. Anyway, I know I kind of got off on a tangent there, and I apologize, but I just feel like this trance-like state that everyone's in is just so disturbing to me. It weighs heavy on me. I think about it constantly. I too feel like some days I spend a little bit more time playing my couple of little games on my phone more than I should. And I see it and I address it. I'm like, all right, I'm putting this down. I'm going to pick up my Bible, or I'm going to call someone, or I'm going to get out and take a walk. I'm not perfect, you guys. I'm, you know, navigating all this myself, but we can do better. We have to do better for the future generations. We have to. So I say all of this in love and out of concern, not from a soapbox, because I've gone through the motions with my own family and over, you know, many years, and I could have done so much better. But you still have that opportunity if you've got young children. So don't let this time pass you by where you look back and all you remember is your kid staring into a phone, or being locked away in their room, or nobody ate a meal together. Let's just don't let that happen, and make sure your children know who Christ is, and that you're encouraging them to have a relationship with their Creator. It is your responsibility. Anyway, that's it. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you soon.